When is a time you should have been in tears but felt stone cold emotionless? My wife of 10 years cheated on me for a reason so ridiculous I genuinely could not believe my ears. My wife went out with friends, like usual, last night. She normally came back around 2 a.m., so I stayed up waiting. The hours ticked by with no word from her. By 4 a.m., her phone went straight to voicemail. I was sick with worry, but she finally stumbled through the door at 6:47 a.m. She came in wearing a tight dress and mesh leggings, which I had never seen before. Makeup was smeared across her face. Relief flooded me for half a second before I took in her disheveled state. My heart dropped. Were you assaulted? I asked. She shook her head. I didn't know whether to feel relieved or more worried. Then where were you? I asked. She shrugged, avoiding my eyes. You know what I was doing. The truth hit me like a freight train. She cheated. Who was it? I asked. Some guy from the club, as she said, yawning and beginning to tear up in her drunken state. I'm tired. Let's not fight now. She slinked off to bed without another word. Numb with shock, I watched her pass out in bed. My mind raced with questions piling up that I wasn't sure I wanted answered. How long has this been going on? Was this the first time? I knew then that this marriage was over. But before I left for good, I needed the truth. I packed a suitcase as the questions scrolled through my mind on repeat. By the time she woke bleary-eyed, I was ready. She started crying when she saw the packed bags. I'll do anything to fix this. We can work through this together. I promise. I shook my head. The truth now or we're done. She took a shaky breath. It was just a one-time mistake. I never meant to hurt you. Don't lie to me again. How long? The tears came faster. A few times over the years, but it was just meaningless. Meaningless to you maybe, I said, but you had shattered my world without a thought. Did you even use protection? I asked. She nodded unconvincingly. Do your friends cheat too? I asked. Then some have, as she said, refusing to say which ones. I vowed to message every friend's partner as a warning. Why? My voice cracked. Why would you do this? I braced myself. I needed variety, she said. I was speechless. She did it for fun, for thrills, not because I was lacking, simply because she felt like it. Her cold, detached tone chilled me to the bone. Her sudden shifts were unsettling. The woman I loved was gone, replaced by this unrecognizable person who betrayed me without a shred of guilt. I'd had enough. I didn't even react. I simply called her mom and told her everything before grabbing the last of my things and leaving in my car. I ignored 100 texts, ranging from insults to begging to random photos of us. I canceled accounts, changed passwords, and found a place to crash. I drove away in disgust, but troubled by her strange changes in demeanor. The life I knew was gone, but her unusual behavior lingered in my mind. Why was she going back and forth between uncontrollable tears and stone-cold responses? A few weeks passed before I spoke with her family. Her mother was distraught, blaming herself for missing the signs. Apparently, my ex had struggled with mental illness for years, hiding her symptoms out of fear and shame. Her erratic actions began to make a terrible kind of sense. Her family begged me to return, swearing she would get help, but the damage was already done. My heart had hardened, unable to forget her cruelty in those final moments. I knew the woman I loved was buried deep within herself, and I was no match for the demon she faced.